Yes, we're on time. It's exactly 8:30. We're not late today. No delays. And we're here to bring you the update. Big up to Brush, by the way. I was watching the show Brush earlier on, and he said, which is our slogan, yeah, big up OMONDI for the Man United agenda. You can check them out 5 days a week. The hardest working guys in the business at 8:30. So, yeah, 8:30, we're here with Mr. B, and we're going in. So join us at the Man United agenda, guys. Yo, Mr. B, Tuesday, the 27th of June. Is that right? 27th today? Yeah, 27th of June. Getting close to the July, which means the transfers will go through. People's contracts are running out. We've been building up to this for a long time now. Mr. B, how are you doing, man? Because I know you got a little something for us today. A little something to talk about.
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I'm just waiting for something exciting to happen on the United front. Look, we signed a guy from Watford yesterday, and it kind of went under the radar.
Okay.
A young player, but then Tottenham have gone out and they've bought a player. I mean, look, everybody's buying players, but I want us to buy something that we can get our teeth into on the show. You know, I mean, whether we want the player, whether we like the player or not, I want us to have something to talk about other than these mythical. We're the kings, man. We're the kings of watching and scouting, and but just pull your finger out your batty and buy a player, man.
Do you think it's the case that I think about this a lot. I think because there's no football on at the moment. Do you think they stir things up? Like, because everyone's talking transfers, everyone wants to get transferred. Any news that they're hearing, it comes in. So, do you think it's a case that they sort of stir it up, like sensationalize these transfers to get people going, to get the butterflies going about certain things, like the story, the saga we had last year of Frankie De Jong that was dragged out? Maybe like you said, as a distraction, something went under the radar. So, do you think they sensationalize transfers these days to sort of create stories, headlines?
Once United are linked with any player, it sells, and that's the bottom line. To be fair, so guess what? Every day we've done or every other day we've done a show, and we spoke about virtually somebody else. I mean, we must be linked with 170 players already. It's hard work trying to keep up. It's hard work trying just sign a player.
Man United's name is in our mouths. I mean, we're a Man United platform. We discuss all kinds of football, but we obviously discuss Manchester United Football Club. Oh, what's going on down there? Look at these lovely graphics. Wow. Guys, have a look at that graphic while I'm talking. So obviously as Man United Football Club, we need to keep ourselves in the news. We need to keep our name out there. And I do start to suspect with all this sort of media thing about the takeover, maybe decisions being made a long time ago, they're dragging it out to keep viewers, as they do with EastEnders, that kind of thing. They want to keep people interested. And I think the same applies to transfers. I think they drag it out, make sensationalize things and keep people interested. The reason I'm saying that is because of the Declan Rice thing. It was suggested by somebody that Man City Pep's doing a favour from Arsenal by bidding for Rice, for example, to get Arsenal fans upset, so then they will go to the board and sort out the deal or whatever. I don't think it's just dramas. But anyway, I want to say hi quickly to a few people in the comments. Stephanie Griffiths, how you doing, Stephanie? Love having you on board with us. She's a Team Viewer shirts, Team Viewer. The sponsor still on the shirts. Michael Hill saying DEGEA was handed a contract and he was dropped. He dropped the bloody thing. Good one. Rebel, safe journey to Rebel. I know Rebel's driving at the moment. So the Glazers once again proving they're horrible, and bastards. And the way they treat Dave, agreed the wage reduction, then reported it. Horrible Glazer, something. Dave should take Saudi payday. Okay, he's really upset. United shares, this is from Flex Felix, says United shares have gone up 7.5 in the last 2 hours. Mr. B, what does that mean?
God knows, man. They went up last week and we all thought that it meant that the club was going to get sold, bro. It just means that these people are speculating and making money. I can't speculate.
Rebel says rumour of a club announcement of some sort at 9 p.m. Weren't they saying something about they're going to announce that the Glazers are staying? Or something? That's what I heard yesterday. It changes all the time, doesn't it?
There ain't no way they're saying that, bruv.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? Let me just shut my mouth. I'll wait.
Okay. Big up to Brush. I gave you a big shout out because I was watching the show with Brush on earlier, and Brush has just laid it down. I was in the background listening. I said, that's Brush. That's Brush. It was on a Realist channel. Brush is everywhere, and Brush is a great guy. If guys, you don't know Brush, he does so much good work behind the scenes, building up everyone's channel, building up the community, and talks well on football. I really like listening to him. So big up to you, Brush. Big up to Big G as well. Hope you're doing well, bro. He's giving us the thumbs up and the wink. Yes, we're going to go in today. Kerwin, how you doing? We can be in the media, but for all the right reasons, he's saying. Hopefully. Shirt's on his way to you. Congratulations with Almira. You spotted the thing with Tom yesterday. That was Matthew Bassett, who worked it out very quickly, and the shirt will be on its way to you. Hopefully, Mr. B will be sorting out. And Big G finally is saying it's because the quarterly finances have been announced, which is why the share price has gone up. Shares always go up. That's why. Okay, thanks, Big G. Mr. B, what have you got for us today, man? Because you're the man with the plan right now.
David De Gea, man.
Okay.
As some, just have a level of respect for people, man. I know United always do things publicly, but yes, David De Gea makes mistakes, or he has made, mistakes that cost us games. But the way that things have kind of gone on today, it's a madness. We offered him the contract. Obviously, he was on 375. He took a reduction, and then it's like they tore it up and offered him a reduction. Now, obviously, to me, that means, brethren, get out the door.
Yeah.
But it's just the way that things have happened. I don't understand it on Monday. They're just dissing everybody.
So just clarify that again. So he's on 375. We know that. He's off. We've offered him a new contract. He's accepted the new contract.
Yeah.
And as soon as he accepted that, we haven't signed our end. We've actually gone back and adjusted it to a lower wage.
Yeah.
So you're saying there that's mugging him off a bit.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about do we get mugged off the other day? We were saying about talking about. Look, maybe we're doing the mugging now. Maybe we're not the muggy.
This is what we want, though, isn't it? This is what we want, Mr. B. I mean, we're complaining. Yesterday's show, for example, we were complaining enough about how Man United getting mugged off on the transfers and selling players. We couldn't get, we're selling players on the cheap. We're buying players with expense. That shows that people are laughing at us. We're a laughing stock. So now we're doing it to De Gea to say we ain't playing that game anymore. We're going to get the wage down. You take it or leave it. And we can, we're in a position now. We don't need you. Just want to say big up to Casper, who's also a good goalkeeper. As we know, we found out when he saved the penalty against Liverpool. Cop TV. So Casper, you've been everywhere lately. And congratulations on getting your referee certificate and your awards recently. You've had a fantastic season and you've been traveling galore. Sabitzer may be coming back. We'll come on to that, says Big G. Big up OMONDI. Yes, big up Casper and big up Mr. B. And Big G saying apparently Erik ten Hag has vetoed the contract offer.
Not the club.
Oh,
okay, fair enough. Okay.
All right, Mr. B. So it's come from ten Hag.
But it makes it it doesn't stop it from being ruthless, though, does it? I mean, look, OMONDI, you're right. We asked for them to be ruthless. We asked them to be aggressive in the decisions that they make. But Lord have mercy, man. It's a madness, bro. It's a madness. I'm not impressed how the way they're handling him, man. And just like that, I heard a boop. Where is he?
I can't see him on.
Why can't I see it? Oh, right. I know. I got you. Hold on.
Ah, there you are. I just want to say, Rebel, before I come on to you, you made it home and you're wearing your new shirt? Is that with the new logo?
There was a friend of mine that was on his holiers in a country that I will not mention. So it's the finest Trotters Independent Traders version of last year's.
It's a new shirt.
It's last year's one.
Welcome, Rebel. Welcome. I'm glad you're on board because a lot of questions we can't answer on here. Maybe we get some insight from you. Just want to say hi to our favourite ladies, Jackie. She's saying good evening on Monday, and Mr. B and Rebel, of course. At least you two don't get mug people off. We don't, do we, Mr. B? Surely not. I've been accused in the past, but no, not anymore. We've changed our ways. So big up to Jackie. Shopping Solutions is saying here, nice the way they did it. It's not okay. They shouldn't treat legends like that. It's like they're pushing him out. Not cool. Casper saying, Mr. B, you recovered from Rainer's Lane friendly. He's laughing. And Emma saying, we are clearly looking for another type of keeper. David DeGea is going to be back up. I honestly don't see a reason to keep him on a higher wage. So, Rebel, what are your thoughts on this? Just to clarify, we offered him a contract. He was on 375. He accepted. Now we've not signed it to accept that deal. We've gone back on it again and reduced the wage and said, take that. What are your thoughts on that? Is that disrespect, or is this the way to go forward for what's apparently going to be a backup keeper, according to Emma?
Well, I'll be honest with you, it's disgusting. That's not how Manchester United do business. If you're going to say, look, Dave, we want you to stay, we don't view you as a 335k per week goalkeeper anymore, that's fine. No problems with that. You're being upfront and you're treating them as a human, as a professional, at face value. You set your stall up and say, listen, Dave, we want to give you 175. Dave says, nah, bro, I can't do that, 250. And you reach a figure and you give him a tender for contract in good faith. You don't sign your end of that contract prior to issuing it to his people. He signs it. He could have taken better money, but he decided, no, this club means this much to me, that regardless of what happens during the season, I'm prepared to at least perform as either number one or number two until next summer. And you turn around and you give him the ultimate bitch slap across the face and you disrespect Mans. This is why those Glazier American scumbags need to be punted out of Manchester United and have their heads put on pikes in front of the megastore.
All right. First things first. We did say that it was a club. It was actually Erik ten Hag who vetoed the contract.
Okay.
Now, do you want to start that rant again?
Yeah, rewind. Come on.
Now, okay, look, I suppose if there's a situation where Erik ten Hag said no, why didn't he do it before the contract was extended? I think that they're trying to put the blame on Ten Hag because they have so much heat on them. There's so much ill will. There's so much disgust, anger, poison towards that family that they did not want to ship any more blame. So they said, look, your cart is clear, Mr. Ten Hag. Will you lay down and take this bullet for us because we need to shift the flak away from us? No.
Hold on. If we're playing Cluedo, no doubt, Rebel will be saying, the Glazers did it. The Glazers did it. You can't let them go. You want them finished, don't you? You're killing them out here. I mean, Ten Hag, it's just been told it was Ten Hag who's changed the contract, and you're still making excuses to get some sort of cussing match with the Glazers.
Okay.
Come on, man. Give them a break.
On Monday, when you were in school, and say you were the innocent boy, you had no strikes against you. Your best mate, Mr. B, he's on the verge of catching a suspension. He's after pulling the fire alarm because he didn't want to do his school exam because he had no revision done. You've got a clean record. For you, it's just a verbal warning. Would you be that soldier and jump in front of the flying bullet to save your buddy?
Mr. B's never mugged me off. And that I would do that for him because he's a loyal and passionate guy. And the way he supports Man United, he supports the agenda as well. You see all the good work he does behind the scenes. I would take a bullet for Mr. B. But this is a different thing. My relationship with Mr. B and you is different to comparing it to Ten Hag's relationship with the Glazers. Why would he take a bullet for them? That's what I don't understand.
No, here's the thing.
All these channels right now will be discussing how can Ten Hag to be doing that, and tarnishing his reputation. He wouldn't do. I don't know what's in the story, but what I will say is, and if we are going to have discussion on this, because I just want to touch on this for the comment here from Kerwin. He said De Gea took too long to sign the first offer and sort of held the club to hostage. So they took the piss. Hey, that's life, Mr. P.
But here's the thing, just to finish off the point. What you have to remember here is that these Glazermans and the people that they have appointed in the executive of Manchester United Football Club, they are the overlords that hold Ten Hag's contract in their grasp. Ten Hag is subservient to them in regards to policy. There was a couple of comments that mentioned that Ten Hag would not have any oversight in terms of the quantum of a contract. So what you have to ask yourself is, if Erik Ten Hag did not want a De Gea extension, he would have vetoed it before Manchester United talked about a De Gea extension. If you're talking about the difference of 25, maybe 50 grand per week, Erik Ten Hag is not involved in the contract negotiations. That is other individuals. So if somebody was going to veto a contract on the quantum of a contract, it's going to be someone in the executive and someone that has Joel and Avram Glazer whispering in their ear, telling them what to do. Sorry, Mr. B.
No, Remo, man. I'm so glad. Remo, welcome back, man. I've missed you, man. Look, I understand. I mean, look, there's a few things we need to save money. We've been pissing money out the club for a long time. Our wage bill has gone down. Obviously, Ronaldo off. It's saved a whole heap of money. God knows what he was on, whatever he was on a month. Then you look at Jones. I mean, our wage bill was 70%, or it's at 70% now, and it's dropping. So we're doing things the right way. Obviously, we're trying to do this FFP thing, which I think is a load of sherbet. To be fair, we should just try and skank it like Man City have done. To be fair, and then get lawyers on the case and push it out until we're all dead and buried. But they're not going to do that. I still think they've treated him like shit. I'll be honest. I think the way that they've done it, I think they should have just said leave. Because the thing is, he's available to go on a free anyway. So they didn't have to reduce it and then slap him in his face and reduce it again. They could have just said go and leave. You know what I think? But maybe deals are happening. Look, Onana's by all accounts, Onana's representatives are flying in today to try and close the deal. Now, this was reported by Corella della Sport or whatever it is. Maybe I should have got it up. But if that's the case, then fine, because we all know Onana's an upgrade. But we're talking about the club saving money and how much money they've got to spend. Onana's 50 mil. Would he be the priority? Is he going to be scoring the goals, creating the goals?
Well, it's ironic, isn't it, that the news of that comes out that the Italian guy said that they're flying over to negotiate that deal and he wants to come to Manchester United on the day when they've messed around with De Gea's contract. It does seem like it's not a coincidence, in my opinion, why that's happening. I would just say this, Rebel, how do you feel? Like, if you're David De Gea and you've been undermined by the Spanish squad, you've been shown that you're not really valued, you're not the man you used to be, and now at Manchester United, there was a time not so long ago when Henderson was put in as the main man. And just unfortunate, coming to the next season, Henderson got sick. And that's why David De Gea started and kept his place again. But De Gea must know he's no longer the main man who was on the top wage, big wage, most expensive waged goalkeeper in world football. Is that going to affect his confidence? And will that say to him, is he the sort of man to say, okay, I accept I'm failing and I will accept this wage? Wouldn't that say to you, if he had bigger heart or bigger ambition, he would say, no, I'm not accepting that. I'm still valuable and I'll go elsewhere, or I'm going to fight for a better contract here. Well, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, is it disrespect, or is it just like he doesn't have any ambition?
I'm going to use a tweet that I saw today from the learned and friendly man of this channel, Jay Motti of Stretford Paddock. He said, this is typical Manchester United business dealings as of late. They approached a man that they know was suffering in his confidence. that needed to be given a bit of encouragement, a bit of, I suppose, backing in order to make sure that he was a usable part of the Manchester United Football Club. They offered him a contract. Now, whether there was a delay on David's side after and not signing it and they pulled it because of the time lapse or other reasons, that's immaterial. But the reality of the situation is this. You have now taken what little shred of confidence that was left there and you've thrown it into the pit of hell and you've buried it. So this man, should we be in a position where we do not sign a goalkeeper, is probably going to walk and leave us high and dry when he takes a Saudi contract that is probably going to be double what he would have taken to stay at Manchester United Football Club. And you also have to remember, what do we need to do if we're to take 120 million at face value being our transfer budget? What do we need to do to basically accomplish being able to sign a keeper, sign a bench keeper, because we don't have one of them either, unless we keep a very grumpy and unhappy Dean Henderson on the bench. Andy Tate is looking for a link there as well, lads. So get him on. But what do you have to do to clear that? Say you sell Harry Maguire, for example, and say we hit the bonanza and we get £30 million from him. We need a centre-back to come in. You need 1-for-1. You sell McFred. 2 midfielders leave. Donny's leaving. We've already sold our soul out of the club in Zidane Iqbal, which is absolutely brain dead in my opinion. Now, unless Ten Hag is saying the lad's not ready and we have a buyback that maybe if he developed into whatever, that he'd be coming back, you cannot use the money that you make from a central midfielder to replace a goalkeeper. And we already know we are completely empty in resources in striking position. So we have to try and make up funds from positions that we have a surplus. There's only one place in the entire squad we have a surplus. And even at that, we would need to be reinforcing it by way of the youngsters. One side is Jadon Sancho, because we do have Garnacho, we do have Rashi, we do have Anthony, and possibly another young stud might make his way through. Obviously, Anthony Elanga is another player that we could possibly sell. But at most, we're probably talking about, what, 45 million? 50 million? That's going to be all used up by getting that one striker. So Manchester United Football Club needed to be thinking of priority positions. Goalkeeper, despite David De Gea not being the goalkeeper that Ten Hag might need, that might not have been the skill set that he desired, was not a priority issue. So now we are after making goalkeeper a priority issue because currently senior keepers.
Rebel, Mr. B's gone off to go and pick up Andy from school. He's going to bring him straight here, first class. Shopping Solutions, how you doing? Said we all know DEGEA is outdated, but treat people right. Fair enough. Emma's saying here, so we had a change of mind. I think that's fine. We could trigger his extension, year extension as well. On top of that, Big G saying when it comes down to contracts, the club get a veto and the manager get a veto. The club wanted to give him a contract. It was Erik Ten Hag that vetoed it. He's not his type of keeper. Fair enough. Damage is done. He's definitely not staying now, says Flex Felix. Emma's saying here, but the club could have offered David De Gea the contract without Ten Hag's knowledge. They've done it before. I want to say hi to Miguel. He says, good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well, Miguel, man. Big up to you. And great to find out about your background and everything else. It's really the other day on the other show. Shopping Solutions saying Ten Hag doesn't decide on how much players are paid, though. Emma's saying here, Shopping Solutions, but he might not want De Gea another season. I think that's true. Look, says Big G, football is a cutthroat business. It's not like De Gea's skink, guys. He's different. So see where the comments go here. Everyone's got a different opinion on this. Emma's saying here, we have to be ruthless to clear out the squad to bring others in, no matter the owners. So that's in response to what you were saying there, Rebel, with your speech about just clearing deck. Michael Hill saying here, Don't forget, DEGEA was a fax away from leaving us before they handed him a new contract, and he dropped the bloody thing. That was the final straw for Eric. Stephanie saying big up to OMONDI, Mr. B, and introduce yourself to Stephanie, Rebel.
I am the Roy Keane incarnate. I am the rebel, and I live in Roy Keane's home county of Cork in Ireland.
Matthew Bassett saying here, the manner in which the club have acted towards DEGEA is a disrespect. And back Eric Ten Hag, if you don't want him, then he doesn't want him. If you don't want him, then we don't want him. Kerwin saying this is the end of DEGEA for sure. Emma's saying here that this probably happens all the time at other clubs. We just don't hear about it. And Stephanie's saying here, distract, divert, deflect, and disrespect United are so classy under greedy Glazer dynasty with an angry face. I know, Rebel, you would love that. David Richard saying here, Ten Hag just being blunt and pragmatic, and an opportunity has come up. Priorities probably changed. Big up, by the way, David. Welcome to the channel. Alex is saying here, they gave him a contract and snatched it. Idiots. Can't even begin to keep him now. Confidence is destroyed, as you're saying. Flex Felix said maybe 375 grand a week. Sancho's 350, and the other 10 players up for sale will make room for Mbappe's wages. Big up, Rebel, says Stephanie. Send me the link, says Andy. We've said it and you're here. We've arrived on time. Emma saying here, we can always change our minds when they haven't signed the paper. The players know this. Pedestrian Ahmad says Kerwin. Rebel, the painter and decorators here, bro. Is it that time of month? And oh my God, Iqbal, he wanted to leave. He's 20 years old, playing in academy players. There's so many comments coming through. Hi to Senor Nest, how you doing? Hi to Andrew Williams as well, talking about the wage as well. We want to hear from the main man, that's Andy. Andy, you know the situation. Offered the contract to DEGEA, who's on 375 a week. None of us like that. He accepted the contract. Then we've withdrawn it and come back again with a lower offer. What are your thoughts on that? Because people go crazy in the comments. No one's really agreeing on anything. What do you think about all this?
Well, I just got off the school bus and Mr. B was there to pick me up. So, yeah, Uncle Mr. B looks after me and guided me across the road to the debate. So I'm very thankful for that, Mr. Edmundo. And my Man United agenda family. Hey, mate, it's called tough love, mate. I've had, like I say, get him gone, get him out the door. Pep did the same thing with Joe Hart, never looked back. He had one season with him, got that goalkeeper in what he wanted, never looked back. All right, he played with a few other keepers, but like I say, it's time to move on. We want to be successful. We could have won an FA Cup. It was the first goal, fantastic. Can't be doing nothing with it. The second was preventable. Sevilla as well, 2 performances. West Ham as well. He's half and half. He's like a Fred. He'll play 50-60% brilliant and 40% shocking. So it's time to cut loose and just, like I say, maybe to cut the past out now and just concentrate. We want to be winners, and like I say, we want a keeper. We want new players, and like I say, I did my sing along last week. I've stuck my what you call it. Name to the master, and I want Nana. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to sing. That's who I want, because he had a fantastic game in the final. I've never seen a goalkeeper dominate, and he never had nothing to do. All right, he had to pick the ball out of the net, but he bossed that Inter squad. He was confident. He dominated, and Man City couldn't get anywhere near him. And he had one save from Foden near the end, and that was it. So, or maybe a Costa as well from Portugal. I just want a new keeper, want a clean break, new players, new ideas, and like you say, time to move on. It's time to be nasty. Man United, I've got thingy to say. Did they give Phil Jones a testimonial? No. Bye. Is he entitled to a testimonial? De Gea? Yes, but no. Bye. United have got an habit of doing this. They did it to Rio Ferdinand.
Sorry, Andy. What's his name? Goalkeeper?
Nana. What's his name? Nana. What a save. Oh, yeah. I can't wait to singing that around. Telling you. But I say it's time to move on. Be ruthless. This is, like you say, do we want to be successful? Yes. Do we want to move on from last season and progress? Yes. Could we go back? yes, we could. Say we're at crossroads. We could reset ourselves again and go back to what we was before the season, before Ten Hag come in. And that's what's scaring me with these players. I want some of these players moved on fast as, cruel as, like you say. I'm done. I'm done being Mr. Nice Guy. I just want my team to be successful. There's nothing wrong with wanting that. I just want a new team, new ideas. Like I say, a new department what can actually identify players, a negotiating team that can actually negotiate a piss up in a broader and actually do something right and order a decent night out and have a good few nights. So this is what I want. I want a complete restructure from the players up to the board, up to the scouting department. Like you say, you got to be ruthless in this game. You really have.
Can I ask a couple of questions, guys? So 4 of us on the panel. Is this a disrespect? I'm saying it's a disrespect. In a word, yeah? Is it all a disrespect?
Yeah.
All right. And lastly, are you happy with it?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm up with the move.
You've just got to be cruel to be kind.
Yeah.
Like you say, Pep did it with Joe Hart. And you know what? I was a title winning, FA Cup winning goalkeeper. And he just did not fit into Pep's plans. Like you say, he went with through his keepers them couple of seasons, and he got his keeper now. Not look back. Liverpool done the same thing. Got their keeper, not look back. So they say they've got, like I say, players going through keepers. Chelsea, they've just sold their keeper. He's going to Saudi Arabia, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Who is?
Mendy,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Is he?
Not enough, yeah.
Yeah. He's going to Saudi Arabia.
Rebel,
So,
Rebel, what you're eager to jump in? Let us know what you think.
I do want to ask Andy a question because I do agree with Andy that we did need to move on from David De Gea, but I'm not sure was this season the optimum season given the other holes that we have. But let's just say David De Gea is gone, and obviously Dean Henderson would not be staying as backup keeper because he's after throwing a nuke in on Manchester United Football Club. So we'll probably have to sell maybe Harry Maguire and Fred to make the money to buy whether it's Onana or Costa or whatever goalkeeper that Ten Hag desires to come in. Do you think, given financial fair play restrictions that are believed to be on Manchester United Football Club, then that we will have to go down the route of, do you know, those signings that we passed up? Your Alvarez's for 10 million, your Enzo Fernandez's for 15 million, your Casados for 5 million, players that turned out to be gems. Are we going to have to kind of throw a few darts into players like that in order to fill out the squad after we get our kind of prime targets?
It's just an excuse. Man United, last year it was excuse. It's cool last year. You know, City signed Haaland, Liverpool signed in. It's okay. Why are you getting so agitated, Man United fans? This is from the club. Why are you getting so angry? And now this year, I'm sorry, it's FFP. FFP. And what does that stand for? Financial fair play. Fair. I can't swear because it's 9 o'clock. Fair fuck up policy. That's what it is. Fair fuck up policy with Man United because they couldn't do anything, right? They're just getting their excuses in, like there was excuses in January. What did they say? Well, our targets are identified and ready for summer. And even though we were chasing on 4 competitions, we were at crossroads. Where could we go? Where could we push? You know, and what did we get? We got Vegas and Sabitzer. No disrespect against him, but it's the same again. It's the same. Spin your plates. There'll be more PR bull tomorrow. They've come out now, Man United. Like Harry Kane's just been, Bayern Munich made the £70 million bid. Now Man United have got to turn this to their advantage tomorrow. You're putting a story out there. Neil Ashton, he'll be putting out his feelers tomorrow. Oh, we may come in back for him. We may. No, you won't, lad. You're just spinning the plates again, man. You're just a magician who's running out of tricks. So eventually, when Qatar come in, you are knackered because he'll be first out the door along with all the other scouting department. So it's just more PR bullshit. Ed, I'd rather just switch off from this club at the moment because nothing's going to happen. And if it does happen, I'm sure my phone, everyone's phone, will go into meltdown. I'll be on the night shift and my phone will buzz and everything's gone haywire. or I'm in bed, Mr. B or Errol, Mr. Solo will wake me up, or my dad will phone me. It's gone. We've been sold. No, you'll know about it when we're sold. I may be ranting, but it's just absolutely so frustrating. And it's more PR bull. It'll be more PR bull tomorrow. I can smell it being brewed already from Old Trafford. You know, it's every day. Every day is just to defect you from the real problem at the club.
And
go on.
Obviously today we had the new shirt launched, and we managed to get they managed to get the megastore closed, which was fantastic. But Eric Ten Hag would have been keen to get some of his new squad players in so that he could have a full, clear pre-season. Obviously, Dumb and Dumber across the pond in America with their fat bald heads are delaying transfers considerably, and Manchester United are unable to move forward until these two dickheads take that 5 billion or whatever it is that's in front of them and piss off across the Atlantic and never darken England's doors again. Is Ten Hag going to have a right to be pissed at the owners, and how far should he take his rebuke against them?
Oh, this is where Mourinho did. How far do you go? You hold the cards, because if you step out of line, can they sack you? Yes, but the anarchy will come with it. Absolute anarchy. You know what I mean? Ten Hag walks, Ten Hag is sacked. Ten Hag just goes up a Sky Sports press conference. The Glazers, fuck them. You spit out your Lucasade then, wouldn't you? They're telling you. So, like you say, how far do you go with this? You can push him, because he can't be touched. He can push him and tell him what he thinks of him privately, but he can't say it openly. I'm sure he's gone to Richard Arnold, or what are these tossers doing? And Richard Arnold, privately, unless they got listening devices at Carrington and Old Trafford, the Glazers, he said they've had private chats because they say this is about their futures themselves, because they're just trying to earn a crust in life, aren't they? So yeah, I went privately. He despises him. He had to shake his hand at the FA Cup final. Yeah. I would have just blanked him. You know, just walked past, whatever, man. Just blanked him. That would have made more of a statement than anything. And you got the City chairman shaking the Glazers' hand. And I bet the City chairman went, "What a fucking tosser you are." Privately, shake Mansour's, the vice chairman. Hey, Mr. Glazer, have ram me out, you fucking bellend, you know what I mean? He really would be saying it privately. Like you say, we're the top dogs in Manchester. Thank you for making it so easy, you tosser.
Thank God Rebel and Andy are our Man United's PR men. We would have a bad rep, because they're too honest. Mr. B mentioned Sabitzer. Andy mentioned Sabitzer. What other news have you got on the grapevine for us, man? Let us have it.
Well, look, this is something that I find really weird, right? I know I'm going to throw it out. You know me, I'm into that. I've been following you too long. I'm under all these conspiracies, but my mind's gone, right? So you can get this. You can still get the Sabitzer shirt number 15, at the Old Trafford mega store, right? But the Veghorst shirt number 31 is free. Have we missed something? Have something sailed? Something been in front of us all this time and we've missed it? We could be keeping Sabitzer.
He's still not taking his shirt either.
I think Garnacho's going to get the number 7. I really think Garnacho's going to get the number 7. But the Sabitzer one, I mean, look, the deal would have been 20 to 25 million euros, which is what, 15 to 17 million pound, and he was happy to stay. So, and the fact that he got injured meant that he wasn't committed to us. He was never going to take his rehab here. He was always going to do it back at Bayern. So I'm wondering, you think that we could get him out? Is it in me just being, head full of smoke and stuff, or what do you reckon?
I don't know where there's smoke. There's no smoke without fire. You don't know, do you? Because we can't get you the midfield. We can't get you Mount. Rabiot's gone back to stay with his mother back in Turin. You know what I mean? So yeah, we can't get you this, that, and the other. We can't get you Casino. But hey, Sabitzer's still available. And you know what? I like Sabitzer. So people may kick off at that, but he got injured. Like I say, the games he played okay. So anything's an improvement on Fred and McTominay. Anything is an improvement. And Sabitzer, yeah, I'd take him. He's a useful player. He's not a Mason Mount. He's not a Casino, but he's anything better. He's an upgrade on what we've got already.
Andy, can I ask you this? Obviously, those of us that are completely anti-Glazer aren't going to give the steam for our piss to the Glazer family in terms of the megastore purchases. But there are some families that they work hard to earn a crust. And little Jimmy or little Mary sitting at home and they want that new Rashford shirt or they want that new whoever shirt. And they go out and they put their hard-earned crust towards the club that they love. Obviously, they're not partaking in the full anti-Glazer rebuke. How disingenuous is it of the parasites across the pond to sell shirts with squad numbers that could be shat all over before the start of next season, and poor little Jimmy, poor little Mary are sitting at home and they're in their Rashford shirt and that's not Rashford's shirt number anymore?
Yeah, Rashford was sold to PSG on deadline day and we got Harry Kane instead. So, yeah, they really say. Steve Howson said it on Saturday on his outside Old Trafford. They don't give a toss. They don't give a toss about you. Any of these 4 boxes, what we're in. They don't give a toss about anybody in the stadium. They don't give a toss about the players. They don't give a toss about the manager. All they give a toss about is I need $1. His dollar is what I need. I bet he sings that to himself, doesn't he? He plays that before he goes to bed. I need $1. Dollar is what I need. He blows his nose on $1 bill and burns it or smokes it. You know what I mean? That's what they live by. They don't give a toss. It's money, and this legacy. Like you say, we all love Man United, and it's soul destroying to see where it is. Like I say, we just had a super chat there. It's all about money. It's all it is. The new kit. I mean, my kit's, but I didn't pay 80 quid for it. Del Boy got it, man. 3-wheel van. You know what I mean? It's coming from the Far East. And if it's come from some street in a backdoor shop, and if the nag's there and somebody's dishing them out, I don't care. I paid 11 quid for mine. Mine's coming. It may be a ringer. I'll say, I don't care. I'm not paying full back for it, and they're not getting a penny more at all. I paid 11 quid for my new shirt.
You'll actually be glad to hear this. I was inside in Mike Ashley Sports in the local city today because I wanted to have a nose because it is kit launch day. And I walked down to where all the football jerseys were, and I was delighted to see full racks of Manchester United jerseys. Walked up towards the till. They were piled yay fucking high. And I asked the person behind the counter, were they shifting? They were nearly at the end of their working day. And the answer was, hell the fuck no, they weren't.
80 quid. I went to Sports Direct in Manchester today. I seen it on the front door. I thought I'll have a quick look at it. Very nice, very sexy. If you want to wear it, pull on a Saturday night, go ahead with your white Lacoste trainers and your jeans. You might cop off with it. But for 80 quid, you're having a giraffe. So forget it. It's a waste of time. Give me if anything, I'd rather wear a retro kit now. I'd rather be Sharp Electronics still. Sharp. Not wrong with that, mate. Better times.
I tell you what, Andy, as you might have noticed, the Man United website has a nice range of old kits. I have 4 of them identified that the minute that these yank bastards fuck off, I'm buying.
Well, I've got 2 retro kits from a dodgy website. I've got the Fleetwood Mac 89 one blue, and I've just purchased the red one, which was seen last week hanging from my door behind me. So I'm going to go on a website next week and probably say, get the white retro one, which is a copy, which is nothing to do with Manchester United. And I'll keep buying my shirts from dodgy websites. I don't care. You Yanks are not getting a cent from me. No way.
This is from Pablo in the Canaries.
Yeah, is it? Nice one. Next time you down there, like you say, Pablo, Send him one my way, so I'd be happy. I got the lime green one last month. I got the lime green one. I look like Slimer from Ghostbusters, but I don't care. I don't care. The Glazers never got anything.
Question, guys. Jackie's saying here, I didn't think Andy was a DH gate buyer. What's DH, Bev?
It's an Asian website that procures particular jerseys and furnishes them to interested parties.
Okay, so Andrew Williams DH gate for me. Okay, going back to that. So Mr. B mentioned Sabitzer, but what he didn't mention, because it's not a reliable source, but you did say, Mr. B, that there could be a deal on here. I'm not inspired. I know Andy said, "Oh yeah, I'll be okay with that," but I'm not inspired.
I'll tell you who's not inspired. Andrew Williams and Big G. Lord have mercy. Big G. That was Big G's first comment. He called him shitbitzer. Yeah. So he's not having him a bit. But I like him. I'll be honest. You know me, man. I had a lot of time for Sabitzer when he was at the club. I liked his aggression. I liked the fact that he wanted to come. I just liked the way that he spoke. Look, maybe it was all hype, you know, but I didn't think he was. I didn't think he played. He didn't have a superb game, you know. But he didn't play bad. There you go. He didn't play badly in any of the games. So I'm taking Sabitzer for 20 million euros. I mean, look, okay, it may well be a last minute one, but he knows the club. He knows the system. You know, the houses that he rented or stayed in, I'm going to assume, may still be up for rent. So there'll be a lot of familiarity. A lot of things familiar to him. So if Sabitzer's available to be taken, I would take Sabitzer back. I would have him back. No problem at all.
Someone tells me we're getting Vegas again as well.
Andy, as you know, the accounts came out today, and I had a little wee nose to him because one of the people to my right there furnished them on to me. And the rat bastards across the pond have generated £725 million of debt on Manchester United Football Club. And they expect Manchester United Football Club to be a functioning entity that was run for a decade by a two-bit accountant that didn't have a fucking Scooby-Doo's about one end of a football to another. He knew how to generate money from commercial activity, and he didn't buy players for the club. I hear rival fans from Liverpool, City, and all these other little mouthy clubs saying, "Oh, but they spent 1 billion, blah, 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 blah." And I was thinking to myself, I will drive you, Joel and Avon Glazier. I'll deposit them at the gates of your football club and come back to me in a decade and tell me what exactly you feel. But I think the thing that grabbed my attention the most, and I want to get your opinion on this, they flew a private jet to the League Cup final. They flew a private jet to the Ladies FA Cup final. They flew a private jet to the FA Cup final. Roughly 1.5 million euros was expunged in flights for the directors. That, in the normal sense of the word, should be drawings and part of their pull from the club in terms of their personal funds. They wrote it off as a business expense. These rats have been using Manchester United Football Club as a personal ATM, and the accounts are starting to show just how bad a position we're in. Our beloved Old Trafford Stadium, as you probably noticed, Andy, has got holes from rust, has the urinals coming up through the floor inside in the stadium, and is slowly being falling apart. If it was a dog, a vet would put it down because it's being inhumanely treated so badly.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, it's like to see something you love getting destroyed and fall apart. It's like a loved one seeing Old Trafford fall apart, isn't it? It's a part of your upbringing. So, yeah, I mean, everything is slowly decaying. Everything is slowly being destroyed. And there's nothing left. I mean, somebody said there's only about £73 million left in the accounts. I mean, £73 million could run a few lower league football clubs. Couldn't it? That 73 million could save half the football clubs over the last, let's say, have gone to the wall in the last 20 years. You know what I mean? It could have saved Bury, even though they're back. It could have saved Maidstone United, even though they're back in non-league. It could have saved Oldham Athletic, even though they were outbought. And they're
could have saved Leeds.
Could have saved Leeds back in the day. It could have saved any football clubs, even a foreign football club. And it's like we're sitting on 73 million quid, and that's all we've got. That's all we've got to our name. Gee, it's a joke. It is embarrassing. They are. Put it one way, they would rob from the dead if they could.
So
They
we've
would,
already tight
they would rob from the dead and pillage like if they could.
with this tight budget. That's probably why we're looking at Sabitzer. I think the people in the comments are a bit upset about Sabitzer. Andrew Williams saying Sabitzer sounds like a cure for a headache. Plays like the cause of a headache.
I use Sabitzer twice migraines daily. Gets rid of him.
Shopping Solution saying Ganacho should grow with the number 7. I am giving Ganacho the number 7. He agrees with you, Mr. B. Big G saying any bloke that has his top knot hair do like shit bitzer can't be trusted. Top knock, wet white. He's saying there. Big G's not happy. Sanitizer got more goals than Bout. Says Alex. Andrew Williams is laughing at Alex because of the sanitizer. Got to use that one. Well, you know we've heard it first. My damn United saying here, we need to move to a different level, guys. The less money you have, the wiser you have with your spending. Sabitzer's not the level we need to move forward. He was just the level to get us from January to May. I totally agree with that comment. Alex saying, Jesus, sanitizer equals Sabitzer. Yeah, that's going to stick now. And Andrew Williams saying, private plane flights from the US to the UK, usually around 150 grand. Anything more than that is too steep. They should get a sub from now on, shouldn't they? Travel around by submarine.
It ain't steep, that is effing vertical. That count is effing vertical. Them free flights, I'm telling you, just like the flight trajectory of the plane, effing vertical.
Guys, a question out, T, before we do continue.
Yeah.
Manchester United Football Club is in a particular position where it needs quite a quantum of capital to bring back the stadium to where it needs to be, bring back the training ground to where it needs to be, reinvigorate the ladies' team because of the skullduggery that they've done. We lost our main players and have to replace them.
Yeah.
There's such a body of work required that's been hamstrung by a personal purchase date of the Glazers that if they were to actually try and take on the project, they do not have the money to even probably get us to the end of the season by the sounds of it, because it's not there. So if you have £5-6 billion sitting on the table saying, there you are, there's £1 billion per each rat in the Glazer family to piss off, what is holding them from taking this money?
More.
They want more money. They want more.
How far can you milk a cow or skin a bird? It's like trying to get a KFC. It's like sucking off the last of the chicken on your KFC bucket deal, innit? They are sucking every bit off the carcass. Like they say, season tickets prices went up. The fixtures come out, tickets went on sale for the first few games. There'll be another batch on sale soon. It's sucking every memberships out, going like that. MUSC to MUTV subscriptions going out. It's every cent that they are taking out. God knows where they're plowing it to. I mean, it's the Cayman Islands, isn't it? Tax-free haven, and it's all taxed up there. I bet there's some dodgy stuff in that in them offices. I bet the guys he's smoking a reefer. You want the Man United accounts straight through that back door in the yard in the shed. That's where it is, my friend. And he's drinking rum at the same time. You know what I mean? Like something dodgy out Jurassic Park where he meets it. He goes on that island in Costa Rica. It's somewhere dodgy like that, down a seedy road in with palm trees and all that. And there's a hut, and that's the Man United Cayman Islands account.
Andy, if the Premier League, because they've engaged in a sale process to this point, said, right, Mr. Glazer, we're calling your personal debt that we are now saying you would not be allowed to do under our rules. You need to remove it from the club. How fast do you think they would book it if they were given a week to remove that money?
Do you know what? They try and fight it. I think they'll try and fight it. They would fight it to the bitter end legally. They'll try, like you say, this could go legally as well. You know, if they tried to shell, you heard that the other week with was it Sir Jim Class B shares and that, and the shareholders who want to sell guitar, but they will take the Glazers to court. This could go either way. The Glazers would fight it to the bitter end to stay in power, even if it's the last bullet one bullet left, 2 dickheads left. You know, they won't even kill themselves by putting their heads together and letting the bullet go through. Because it'd be a bitter end. There'd be a bitter end. Like Julius Caesar stabbed in the back. They'd be stab. Why are you not dead? Why are you not bloody dead? You've been stabbed. Was it? Oh yeah, it was in Ghostbusters. Hung, strung, and quartered, chopped up, and he was like you say, hung on posts in the him in the painting. And you go, ouch, and you say, you're still alive. You know what I mean? This is what the Glazers. You take his head off, it still be on a pole, saying, how much can we make, people? You know what I mean? Like a future armor to stick his head into one of them oxygen bubbles. Both Glazers still at it 100 years later.
Okay,
yeah.
Prometheus. This is the guy from Prometheus, yeah. Anyway, guys, another story. A bit more positive here. Looks like Kim. We might be going back in for Kim. Really, the guy called Dean Jones from Revealed to Gimme Sport. He said on the subject of Kim, he expects United to push hard for the signature. It's not over yet. Alongside Mason Mount. So all these transfer deals that we thought were dead in the water may be sort of being revived right now. It's been a decent season for Ten Hag, obviously, but going into the new season, we need big signings. And clearly, those 2 guys were guys that we've identified or the manager identified. So one avenue Man United have already explored is kit defender Kim, who the Red Devils sounded out as summer target prior to last season's conclusion. However, any genuine advantage for the 20-time Premier League champions have been put on hold because of a peculiar release clause that doesn't come into play until the start of July, which is only a few days away. It's claimed by Italian outlet Gazzetta dello Sport that the South Korean international has a £42 million release clause that will become active from the 1st of July, but will only run for 2 weeks to the 15th. So it provided, as Jones dubbed it, a small window of opportunity for clubs to approach the Serie A club and secure the signing of Europe's most sought-after defenders. And he's saying here, they haven't walked away from it, talking about Man United. I would expect a round of talks in the next week to get ahead of themselves for this window. An opportunity exists to sign Kim at a decent price. So it was important, like, obviously with Bayern Munich and all that involved as well. Are we still in it? It looks like this news is popping up again. Is Kim still going to be a guy to pursue and Mount as well? Because this looks like a positive report here.
Can I just say one quick thing? Because I know Andy's going to go off on this one. Unless Joel and Evan Glazer have 40-odd million sitting on the back of Andy's couch, what you have to remember with these release clauses is this is payment in full to trigger the release clause. We saw this debacle with Chelsea and Endo Fernandez. The release clause was on payment in full. Manchester United, if you're to believe the financial fair play bollocks, have 120-odd million. They're not going to put a third of it straight out when they can leverage it over 5 years for financial fair play purposes on blowing 40 million straight away to trigger a release clause. It's absolute bollocks, as is the 70 million for paying for Mount.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Kim Min-jae, I would love it, but if you believe an activate clause, like you say, this is how City got Ireland. It was activate. There was a clause that let him to go for 65 million at a certain point last year. It was active for like a fortnight, same sort of deal. So I don't believe it. I really don't believe it. It's just more PR spin. Man United have seized this, probably leaked this out there as well. It's just a waste of time. It's just more to distract you. It's more depression. It's more negativity. What is there to be hopeful about? What is? I'm sorry to be like this, guys.
We're signing Jamie Vardy, aren't we, Andy?
Yeah, I wish I was Jamie Vardy having a party. You know what I mean? So it's God,
this is too low. Mr. B, lift the spirits, please. Give us something inspired here to say that this deal with Kim and Mount is not dead in the water. Please let us know.
Well, the Kim one, look, I said it already. The fact that the Kim deal is a 2-week window. We're going to know early. It's not good. That one can't be dragged out. Now, if we don't get him and he goes Bayern, we know why. We haven't got the money, or we didn't have the money. But then we have to move on to some. You know me, I'm an optimist most of the time. Yes, sometimes I do come in and I face like a shitbag because they piss me off. Normally after a bloody
after Fred's played. After Fred's played, you scored the winning goal.
Exactly. But I'm positive if Ten Hag thinks that De Gea is not good enough, like we all do, and he thinks that Maguire isn't good enough, like three of us do on the panel here, then it's just we've got to trust him. He didn't get any of his signings that he brought in. He didn't get wrong last year. To varying degrees, they had varying degrees of success, but they were all successes. So we have to trust him. Yeah, we are not going to get the 5 players or the 6 players that we sit down and wish we're gonna get. So yeah, he's gonna have to play the market. And if it means that he has to spend a 50 on a goalie and 55 on Mount and sell a whole load, Jesus Christ. When you talk of it like that, then we're dead.
One for you. Do you remember when Newcastle were right near the bottom? At the start of not last season, the season before, Eddie Howe, and he got announced. And Saudi came in. Was it 1 win in about 16 games? Won it? They came January. They splashed the cash, and it propelled them to safety. Do you see United maybe doing that in January? Say United are just hanging in on that top 4 race, and just like say Wood and Qatar get announced after the transfer window. Do you say it happens? We have to go with what we got again. But do you see Qatar? You know what? Screw it. Let's have 1, 2, 3 big marquee signings, or just to settle the ship and maybe push us second half of the season to get us somewhere, guarantee us top 4 and maybe another cup. Could that happen the same way with Newcastle did?
Does our financial fair play situation change? Does it change in January? Because if we can't spend it now, why then 6 months was January 5, January 1? Why 4 months later are we allowed to spend? I wouldn't understand that. I would assume that
you don't know though, do you? You don't know how the rules change. It varies. It's like say it's what you sell as well. It's like so confusing.
We ain't selling shit.
Like, what you have to remember, Mr. B, is there is going to be stuff that's running off the books as time passes. So that's part of what will change the position as certain transfers, certain hits are expired. That then changes your future look. So if there's heavy weighing transfers that are coming off the books, that will obviously open up more opportunities. But as Andy said, it's all bollocks because the Glaziers have fucked the finances so fucking badly. We are sitting down in a swamp of pig shit.
We're playing a game of chess and we haven't got the pieces to play the game. That's what it's like. We're playing with pennies instead of a full chess set. We're half a penny, an eightpenny, and we all remember that back in the day. Half a pence. So
used to get 2 mojos for that.
We are playing with Freddos. That's what we're playing with. Here's a Freddo. Here's a steak bake, and it is 20 quid. That's my final offer for Harry Kane.
Do you know what, Andy? Joe Kinnear was more logical than those 2 gobshites in America.
Joe Kinnear.
He was actually. He actually had the brain. He had a good football brain on him. So seriously, mate, I don't know what's going to happen. It's the media again. I heard something today. Something was going to get announced. Is there an MGN tomorrow, the quarterly, or was it today?
Well, there was supposed to be a 9 o'clock announcement. That was bollocks. Nothing's come out. I've been looking at Twitter since. There's absolutely dick shit. They've only been sitting there with their
because of the kit launch, you know. It's to get the kit launch, and it's every day it's the same recycled stories. It's just chopped and changed, a little bit of typing here, typing there. And it's whatever you get. And I really don't know where we're going. I don't know what we're doing. We're Max and Paddy. We're on the road to nowhere.
So Sky Sports have just published Manchester United have projected a record annual income of up to 640 million on the current financial year, despite the ongoing takeover saga.
Right, and you see when I said we don't need a sheikh, we can self-generate. What we need him to do is come in, sort out the training ground, and sort out a new bloody stadium. Because everything else will run itself.
Yeah.
All that money that's just been announced, what we've made, where's it gone? Where was that? Where was Gakpo in January? Where was it all gone? Where's it all go?
Thank
It's
you.
down
See-
that plug hole. It's gone
It
straight
makes no
over
sense.
into a bank account or the Cayman Islands bank account. That's where it's gone. If we've made all that, where the frig is it gone? It's seriously. You know what I mean? Oh, is that because we maxed out a credit card and bought Casemiro and bought Martinez and Anthony? We maxed
These
the
players
credit
that we couldn't
card.
afford. But look, you know what? When we got fourth with, I tell you, they got fourth with the credit card. I think we're gonna struggle next season.
Who knows? Who knows? It's up and
Yeah.
down. Look, we just don't know. Day in, day out, things are changing all the time. So hopefully, if you keep following the channel, we'll be up there with the news. and
Roll on
something.
Saturday the 1st when we sign Kim Min Jae.
Yeah, who knows? Look, it's a new month. Who knows what could happen? Emma's
Yeah,
saying here.
I'm sure I get a text and phone call, and you guys will alert me and wake me up.
Yeah,
when it's Saturday
definitely.
morning.
Wake up! It's time to go. Like the bat phone. Emma's saying here, I can see us buying and selling in January. Agree with Vandy there. She's also saying there's also something with debt and owing other clubs money that accounts to the FFP, as you guys was highlighting earlier. I want to say hi to somebody's brother who's come here to tease us. He's saying, good evening, gents. Wonderful show. Absolutely love watching you guys upset and having little hope in being able to find anything.
Are you an Arsenal fan? Are you a Liverpool fan?
It's
Yeah,
a Liverpool
he's a
fan.
City
It's a
fan.
cop-out. It's a cop-out. It's Mr. B's brother. By the way, go and check out Cop TV, Cop Talks TV. We're all brothers in arms, man. They're good guys, and we owe them because they beat us at football. And then Stoney's a great little player, by the way. Big G saying here, FFP restrictions all depend on the payment structures. We could stretch out deals over a number of years, like Chelsea have done. So, come January, we could sign some big players if we just stretched them out like that. Damned United saying 600k per week was for Ronnie and 340k on Sancho. So Ronnie's gone. So there's a gap there, as Mr. B likes to talk about wages. Flex Felix is saying here, imagine generating 640 million debt-free next season. We will be sustainable and other teams are scared. That's a big point, as Mr. B was highlighting. And Romano saying here, Jesse Lingard in talks for surprise return to Old Trafford. Andrew, stop it. Stop it.
Actually,
All
two
right.
interesting bits for you Monday.
Yeah.
Apparently, Jesse Lingard is considering an offer to go to Saudi, is number one. And number two, Manchester United Football Club, in its publications of players in new shirts, did not publish the picture of Harry Maguire in his new shirt, so much so that Harry Maguire had to do it himself.
Yeah, I seen the picture. It's supposed to look like Thanos, isn't he? Like that, the leader.
Are you serious?
Picture, you know,
Oh.
I am a leader.
Oh.
Jog on, Harry.
Oh, Rebel.
And
That's
he
brought a
wants-
smile to my face.
That's his PR department. He was brother. You got to put something out, Harry. There he is like that.
Oh, that's
Superman. You ain't Superman, mate. You ain't nothing on Clark Kent. Nothing.
Oh, that is fucking-tastic.
Thanks,
Fucking
Rebel.
hell.
Thanks a lot. Welcome back, Rebel.
Unbelievable.
I'm not saying nothing on that.
That's cold,
Anyway, guys,
Rebel. That's cold, but it's the truth. You are right, my friend.
Yeah. 26 people watching right now. Give us a like if you don't mind, please. It's been Rebel, the return of Rebel, and he's been caning the Glazers, of course. Don't forget, if you look at his little graphics here, 12 questions, 6 on Man United, or a team of your own choice. Okay, that's 6 of the questions. And then you get 6 questions on football general knowledge. And you can be top of the leaderboard if you face the Quizmaster. So book your spot, guys. That's the Quizmaster. That returns very soon. And you'll be facing me with a pile of questions. Now, Andy, I know you know your stuff. What would be your chosen team? Obviously, Man United.
I got a question.
Because you don't like Oldham as well, don't you? Do you know much about Oldham?
Yeah, I do know a little bit about Oldham, but I like to sort of like games in general. Like 80s football, 70s football. You know what I mean? Can
Okay.
you name me the team? He's like when you guess it, what you call it, eh?
All right. Here's one for you. Who was the first English player to be sent off in a World Cup tournament?
Recently, or going back?
First ever English player to be sent off in a World Cup tournament.
It was Ray Wilkins, wasn't it?
Ray Wilkins,
Yes,
isn't it?
correct. So there you go, guys. That's how easy it is. Andy's got.
Who scored the
his
first
favourite.
goal? Quick one. Who scored the first goal of the Premier League and who was it against?
Brian Dean. I don't know who it was against.
Nottingham
though.
Forest.
Oh my days! I am shocked. I am
that right?
disgusted with this. It was
Here-
against Man United.
Oh,
Uh,
I
yeah,
am
it's
against
nice.
Man United. I am
Ah.
disgusted, Mr. B.
Oh,
I'm
God.
disgusted, Armando.
What I will
The silent one.
what I will say is this. That is why until somebody gets 0, I am not going on that show. I am not
Here-
going on the show.
Here's one for you, Mr. B. That was posted by the Stretford Paddock today. Guess the former Manchester United player. Now, Andy, you know this because you were probably talking to the boys already, so nothing from you.
Oh, God.
In 2000 to 2003, he played for Koto Purple Sanga. He then moved in 2003 to PSV Eindhoven before debuting for Manchester United in 2005. You see, he didn't even give Mr. B a chance.
Oh,
He
sorry.
jumped
Because I tell
in.
you, no. I had WhatsApped on Monday the message. I had WhatsApped on Monday the answer. So,
It's
listen,
us two against you two. Here's one more for you. Here's one more for you guys. We know that Mbappe scored a hat-trick in the World Cup final recently, and the last player to do it was Jeff Hurst, obviously, in a 4-3 win over Germany in 1966. But who was the other goal scorer for England in that victory in the World Cup final?
Peters.
Well done. Bloody hell. Andy's good at this.
listen. Do you know what? Look. Just let's just end the stream so I can get off because I feel like such a dumb bastard when I'm listening to you. You answer questions, bang, answers. I'm sitting here thinking, okay.
Yeah, you're right. It was Peters, guys. There, Andrew Williams got it in. So, guys, if you want to join in with the quiz, it's coming up soon. Get your names in, Twitter us, give us a DM, and we go from there. And Andy looks like he's favourite right now for the title. Jay was winner last time around. He got 11 out of 12. So line them up, guys. Line them up. But today it's been a wonderful show. We've gone through everything we could talk about with DEGEA, with the finances, because Rebel's back and he was cussing the Glazers again.
I'd be nice to them.
You that being nice? I don't think so, mate.
No, Rebels should get a hood that have the darkness like that, like this. A green lightsaber dripping with blood, dripping with glazer blood, evil eyes, and he has come to the dark side.
He's had enough.
Taking the wings off the glazers, dripping with lightsaber blood. Love it.
Revenge. The Rebel
Welcome to the
strikes
dark
back.
side, Rebel.
The Kino force is strong.
Indeed.
I crushed you, you bastard! I crushed the voice box, Glazer.
Oh dear. I love the film references that we've dropped today. We've had Prometheus, we've had Star Wars, and a few others as well that maybe I've missed. But yeah, bring it on.
Monday,
Guys,
we can tell him to say hello to my little friend.
there you go.
Yeah, face.
And in the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. That'll be tomorrow at 8:30, guys. Don't forget, Andy. Hopefully, you can jump on. Rebel will be here.
Mate, don't worry. I'll be there.
Good. And hopefully, you have some good news, Andy, to cheer you up. And Mr. B will be doing his research and doing all the graphics, and he does a wonderful job. The graphics, thumbnails. He's a genius right now. He's good
tomorrow at 10 o'clock as well. I'm on the Mick Ruby show at 10 o'clock, so I'll give you guys a shout now, and I'll give you gals a shout tomorrow. So I'll be on there. Don't worry, gang.
Okay. On that note, guys, we're going to sign out. Thanks for everyone in the comments. We're back tomorrow, 8:30. God bless. Have a nice evening. Later.